trying to shove at least my penis down your throat is going to take a second. Ah! Oh.
M.
Oh.
M.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta.
Today's guest is a classically trained opera singer who graced our screens on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16. It's Sapphira Cristal.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
You know what? I'm great. This is, people may think this is our first time doing this, but actually we already did a run of this because we did a live show together in Philly.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was super, super fun. That was my first time meeting you. And like I told everyone, I was like 5 seconds in, I was like, I'm in love. It's so great to be around people who are just professional, who take what they do very seriously, but not themselves seriously.
Yeah.
And that is a catwalk that a lot of people try to walk and they fall over one way or the other. They just can't do it. How are you able to do that?
I don't know. I've always been sort of just like enjoying life. I always kind of felt like an alien. Like I was kind of learning the world. And it was like, oh, this is very strange. And so I never really felt like I was a part of things. So it's very hard to take yourself seriously when you don't really feel like the things that are happening are real.
Right.
And my biggest goal was to be pretty so that all my weirdness, people could just be like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you felt like an alien, do you have any interest in outer space?
No.
None.
Nearly none. I just always felt like, am I from here?
Right.
Am I really here? Am I the only one who sees this? You know what I mean? Because there seemed to be like a common understanding of certain things that didn't make sense to me.
Right.
That I then learned and was like, okay, I get the rule, but I don't understand why it's a rule.
Right.
And then I realized I was queer, and that's why.
I think, so many people love Drag Race, and so many young people, young queer people, find people that they identify with on the show. Maybe they see themselves physically in them, or I think more than anything, they align themselves with people who are just living authentically.
Yeah.
And come from places, again, where they felt alienish. They felt like, and so I think when they see an example like you, a standout from your season that can live this way without apology, without explanation, just open arms. It's what we all want, it's what we all need.
I mean, and that's kind of the reason why I did it. I wanted to just be me. Before I went, I talked to some friends who had already done it and said, hey, you have any advice? And they just said, you should just be you. We love you. You're wonderful. Just do you. You'll be fine. And I was talking to my friend Kevin, Kevin Aviance, and we've known each other for many, 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 many years. And I was talking to him recently, and he was like, girl, you're the most arrogant person I've known. And I was like, arrogant? Not arrogant, but she just meant like you had such a confidence that was unshakable. Like we couldn't tell you anything and make you believe anything less than you are an amazing person, an amazing artist. And it's hard to shake me because I really do love me. Like it's really hard to shake that because, and people don't like that sometimes. I've had a lot of people say, I can tell you were fake. I can tell
really?
that you weren't being real. And I was like, well, actually, some people actually do love themselves and really do love others. And honestly, it's easier for me to be a genuine, loving person than it is to be a hateful cunt. It's just so much easier for me to do that because it takes effort to do the other thing. And for me to just love people, I'm just like, oh, you're here. I see you and I can accept exactly who you are.
Well, and I think, I can just speak from the feeling of that. I tell people that we did the live show in Philly together. And as much as I go somewhere and I'm presenting my podcast or my live talk show experience, I also know that I'm a guest in a city. And being there, you had that audience in your hand, and I felt so comfortable and safe, even though I just met you.
Yeah.
Everything about what preceded our meeting, everything everyone had said, they were like, you're going to love her. You're going to love her so much. And I wasn't nervous, but there was that feeling of like, well, what if she's just like, bitch, I don't like you. I don't know you. But you met me where I was.
Yeah.
And I never felt like, is this question unusual or is that, and we all question ourselves. Like we all question, what am I doing? And so when you get the ability to be around your peers that just keep championing you and make you feel good, you're like, I want to be around those people.
Yes.
I want to feel that. So knowing that you would be here today, I was like, this is going to be so great because people can experience what I experienced already live, but now in this format.
Thank you.
I think it's just one of the greatest things. I feel like we all know how many people love us. Like we appreciate it and we live off of that. But it's just nice to see nice people, cool people, people who are like in their lane and they're like, hey, come in my lane too if you want.
Yeah.
Like you can ride with me or if you want me to ride with you. Like there's something different about what you do. There's just something I was saying earlier that I was listening to your music and I know how passionate you are about your music. And as somebody who was on season 3 of Drag Race, we left and everyone was like, you have to record a song. Let's do a song. We're all singers. We're pop stars. We're going to take over the world.
Yeah.
Because it felt like that was the format. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well, I mean, you're RuPaul. Like it was RuPaul's Drag Race and RuPaul is a pop star.
Right.
And so like if you're going to be the next drag superstar in her image, then yes, write music,
Right.
But no, it's your own image.
But then you realize like, is that your passion or is it your hobby? And it can be both, but I'm a firm believer that like your passion, you can't have a profession unless it's really your passion.
Yeah.
You can't be really great at something unless you're taking your heart with you the whole time as well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about your music is it makes people feel good. It makes me feel good. I enjoy listening to it. Where does that come from? That the ability to do that?
So I was raised in the church. And I was raised in a good church. Keyword, a good church. A church that was welcoming, a church that was loving, a church that made me feel. I mean, there were gay people, there were trans people in positions of power at my church.
Wow.
Like to see that made me think the teachings of Christ were real. It wasn't just lip service. They weren't just like being like, oh yeah, you should love everybody. And then, telling someone else, oh no, you can't be in this church. We never got the Adam and Eve sermon. We never got any of those sermons. We got the sermons about prosperity and God's love for us and the unconditional love of God. And if it's unconditional love, then it doesn't matter if you're gay, if you're a trans person, if you're a woman. I mean, we had so many women who preached in my church, and that just taught me to love everyone.
Yeah.
Like the love of God, it just flows out of me. My love flows out into the world, and I know it. I know it so strongly. That's why it's easy for me to write these songs. These songs weren't just my songs. These are God's songs. And we put them out together, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why they can make such a great impact in that way to make you feel good. There's a feeling behind them. I mean, there's enough songs about, poking and smoking and I got all the money. Like, you don't need to know how much money I got. That's my business. How do you feel?
Right.
How are we feeling today?
Right.
Like in the morning, I like to listen to music that makes me go, oh, yes. All right. Let's do this day, And so I wanted to be the kind of person who put out music that made people go, oh, all right. Yeah, I can do this today.
Yeah.
If
If you put together like a playlist of music, just stuff that you've loved over the years, who are some of the artists that would appear on that?
Funny enough, RuPaul has a lot of really good, like, inspirational music.
Absolutely.
Like,
I
just makes
1000%
you,
agree.
I'm just like, oh, almost all her music is inspirational music. I like Happy. You know that song by Pharrell? Happy?
Yeah.
But I have cried listening to that song.
Really?
Because when I started to think about like how happy I am with my life, I used to be homeless in Boston. I lived in Boston and I got kicked out of school. I was homeless. I didn't know what was going to happen. And it was way too long that I was homeless. And so to know that I come from that into where I am right now, anytime I think about being grateful and being happy, I just think, "Ugh, my life
Right.
has been some places, and I can't take that experience and do anything but be grateful and share that love with the rest of the world."
And people, I mean, there's so many people in those positions that don't often get to see the example that the light at the end of the tunnel is not always a freight train. Like, it's hope.
Yes.
It is hope.
Yeah.
And it may not seem like it. I always say to people, like, when something happens in life, people say, well, you'll get over that. You'll get over that. I feel like we have to go through that,
Yes,
right?
we have to
feel
through
it, smell it, hear it, taste it, experience it, feel the pain, but know that there's something else, is that pendulum when it swings, like it will come back. It will. It doesn't stay far away. And you have to experience it. And I'm not saying like it's so easy for people to go, this is what builds character, but it does.
It prepares you.
It prepares you.
It prepares you for your greater.
Mm-hmm.
Your greater is coming, but you need to be prepared for it.
And doesn't it always, I mean, it sounds preachy, but it's so true. It always figures itself out. Like we all, and I can, so many things like professionally have just been wiped where I'm like, oh my God, like, what do you mean? Like, how am I going to come back from this? How do I fix this? This is not, I'm never going to be able to do this. Or a financial thing will come up where I'm like, there's just no way. There's no way. And all of a sudden you're in this other's place and you're like, wait, it will figure itself out. Like I will figure it out. If I listen and I feel it, I know it. I don't even know how to verbalize it. You're verbalizing it, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah. Every single time.
Yeah.
It's always worked out. You're still here.
Yes.
How many times in your life have you thought, oh, this is over for me?
This is it. This is the end of it.
This is the end.
Not going to work.
20 years ago, you thought that.
Yes.
And here you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I tried to hang myself when I was very, very young.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I was so low then.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
I just distinctly remember doing it, trying to, and crying my eyes out and being so sad. But here I am today.
Right.
Keep going. It will eventually get better.
It will. And we get better.
And we get better.
We
You have to, it's an active thing. It's not just like, oh, I'll just wait here until it gets better.
Right.
You gotta be a part of your own progression.
True.
And it seems hard, but you get up. We gotta do it.
And it's going to be hard. That's just the way it is.
And then it's gonna be easy.
And then it's going to be easy. Let's take a break. We are back with Sapphira Cristal. Now, I'm curious, do you, it's daytime, so we wear our shades during the day. Do you also wear your sunglasses at night?
I wear my sunglasses at all times because my future is so motherfucking bright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
also, I also often forget that I have them on. So, yeah, sometimes I do wear them at night.
Mhm.
And then people are like, it's nighttime. And then I go, oh, that's why I can't see. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, some people use the old drag trick of like, well, I didn't paint, so I'm just going to put the glasses on.
Yeah.
That's not her. That's
people,
not you.
Some people do that. But I did paint. And I also
Oh, just a little something?
just a little like I figured maybe I should do drag to come to your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's like the winning spirit. I feel like you're one of those people that whether you're in or out of drag, we're going to get the same experience. But it's nice for people to see the full glamorized package. They love it. And
yeah, I mean, you came in drag.
Well, sort of.
But I mean, you're here in drag. I might as well be.
I love it. I mean,
think it's a sign of respect. It's a sign of like, I'm coming to your show. If I did the Bald and the Beautiful. Katya's not in drag. I'm not getting in drag.
Sure.
It makes no
Sure.
sense.
Sure.
But you're in drag. I respect you. I'm going to get in drag.
Oh. Well, I think the fans of season 16 love seeing the standouts just
Yeah.
done up all the way. So
They do. They do love
Yeah.
to see us in drag. Some of them like to see us out of drag too. So.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of that, traveling. So you've obviously traveled everywhere
Mhm.
to do shows, to sing, to host, but you're also in the Las Vegas show.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is huge.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I love being in Vegas. I love being with Asia. I love being with Lawrence and Jimbo and Jada, Derek Barry. Just being able to see some Las Vegas veterans
Mhm.
and be in the same show with them has been quite a gift.
And I mean, obviously, you have a regimented schedule with that. You have there's everything is timed and everything
Mhm.
is planned out. Are you able to at all enjoy anything else in Vegas? Like, is there like a food spot you like or a place you like to shop?
Herbs and Rye is
Okay.
a steakhouse that after I don't know if I want to say this to the world because then all of a sudden my favorite steak place is
Okay.
filled with
Okay.
people.
Okay.
But whatever. After midnight, the
Uh-huh.
steaks are half price.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Herbs and Rye. Oh, I
Yeah.
shouldn't say that. You didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Go to Sizzler.
Go to Sizzler. Go to Outback Steakhouse.
What's your cut? What kind of steak do you like?
Ribeye.
Oh, see, that's what I like. So I want that
Ribeye.
marbleized.
There's only one cut that
Okay.
exists to me.
Okay.
And it is the ribeye or the bone-in ribeye.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, but it's still the ribeye. Like,
Right.
they're like, oh, that's a filet mignon. Get that thing away from me.
Mhm.
It's dry. And we were like, no, it's not dry. This one is not dry. It's dry.
Based on what I know,
It's dry.
it's dry.
I've had a really delicious ribeye. I mean, filet. And I was like, oh, that is moist,
Mhm.
but very muscly. And I need a fat. I need fat.
Right.
I need the juices. I need to run down my throat. I need to feel, you know
run
what I
down
mean?
your throat.
Yeah. I need those juices to
Uh-huh.
run down my throat.
Mhm.
I love them so much. I could eat a ribeye every day.
Can you imagine if the two of us had a show together? It could be called The Ribeye, muscly
Mm-hmm.
and fat. Could you see it? It could
I
be
can see it. I
that
can
could
see
like Cagney and Lacey, muscly and fat.
Muscly and fat.
Next Tuesday at 8 p.m.
it. The ribeye.
The Ribeye on the case.
Yeah.
I could
Oh.
see that. Wait, what do you have with the ribeye? What are your sides you like?
Asparagus.
Okay.
I love like a good asparagus.
Mhm.
At this place they have like a garlic mash
Mhm.
potato. I don't like their mac and cheese,
Okay.
but everyone can do that.
But you know what's funny is I always tell people, I don't think I've ever gone to a restaurant and said, oh, the mac and cheese is so good. It's never good. It's
Never,
only good
never.
when it's someone you know who makes it or you make it.
Or a soul food restaurant.
Or
If
exactly.
you go to a good soul food restaurant, they're gonna make it just like they make it at home.
Ooh, I love that. Do you
Yeah.
like dessert or do you take it home?
Sometimes I order it twice.
Oh, you order it twice.
So I order the one to eat there and then one to eat when I get home.
These are specificities.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very like, this is what I want. This is what I don't want. And that never the twain shall meet.
Why is this so hard for people?
Get it together.
It's so easy. And I
Yeah.
get it. I'm not knocking anybody that's just an easygoing person because I love that. I love easygoing people. I wish I had that. That's like one of my character flaws is I'm high strung about dumb shit. But this is not dumb shit. Like this is real.
Yeah. I mean, like, I also love easygoing people. However, a lot of people who say, I'll do whatever, not all of them, but some people know what they want.
They do.
They just don't say it.
Right.
And I'm a diva because I know what I want and I say it. And I'm like, no. Like, you know what you want.
Right.
Like sometimes I can eat. If we go to a certain place, I'm like, I can eat anything there.
Mhm.
So it really doesn't matter. Just get me something there. That's very rare. Trying to think of the place. Because as I've gotten older, I've gotten more particular.
Uh-huh.
Like when I was younger, I'd be like, I don't know, give me a burger.
Uh-huh.
And then I started to realize, okay, I don't like this.
Right.
I'm allergic to tomatoes. If I'm going to Whataburger, my Whataburger order is a double Whataburger with mayonnaise, no mustard, extra pickles. It already comes with lettuce. No cheese, because their cheese is trash. It's American cheese that's trash.
No tomatoes.
No tomatoes. And then sometimes grilled jalapenos. Just depends on.
Ooh.
Lately, I've been getting a lot of agita, so I don't really like.
Uh-huh.
I try not to do the jalapenos as much.
Yeah.
But if I'm like feeling good that day, I have my Pepsid AC.
Uh-huh.
I'll fuck up a grilled tomato on there.
It's so weird to get to that point in life where you're like, I just have to have the Pepsid AC just nearby.
Yeah.
Because I'm that same way. I'm like, do I need, this is where I am. Do I need the Pepsid AC or do I need a Pepto or do I need an Imodium? Because they're all something different. I was even having trouble the other day thinking like, I don't want an anti-diarrheal and anti-gas. I just want an anti-gas. Where is that pill?
That's Gas X.
Gas X.
Mm-hmm.
Gas X. Why didn't they have it there?
Where?
I think I was at Walmart and I didn't see it.
They had it. It's not near where you think it's going to be.
Oh, okay.
I always have to go find it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or it's under lock and key.
Yeah.
And then you got to push the button and call somebody over and be like, I have torrential gas. Can you please bring me the pills?
I have a really sensitive sense of smell.
Uh-huh.
It's very, very basset hound, some would say.
Okay.
And so like when I smell bad things, I am completely like kind of shut down. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
But on myself, I get really, really self-conscious if I'm like, oh no, it don't smell great right now. And so I make it a big point to use the latest technology in
all of it.
Like I'm using Lumi deodorant to make sure, there's like no scents at all.
Right.
And then I layer my scents. It's a different layer every day.
If you had your own fragrance, I feel like your name alone lends itself to a beautiful fragrance name.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, you hold like 16 pageant crowns.
Mm-hmm.
Would a crown possibly be involved in the packaging? Is there a specific crown that you can refer to that you're like, that's the one that stands out for a fragrance?
I only did pageants to make money.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
A means
I'm
to
not
an end.
Like, I'm not a pageant girl.
Really?
No. Like, not in the same way. And I say that to not diminish pageant girls. You know what I mean? Like, pageant girls are supreme. But when it comes to, like, I did pageants, I was good at them. But I only did pageants because I heard there was money.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I like to check my drag in all things. So, like, as much as my crowns do mean a lot to me, it is a show of, like, I accomplished this. I don't know that they hold the significance that they would for someone else who is like a pageant queen. I'm a performance artist.
Right. This is a very real question. I've never asked anyone, but it's always been in my mind. What is the proper etiquette? So like if you win a crown and you wear it at the crowning and it's put on your head, and then you take it home. When do you put it on again, or do you ever? Do you put it on if you do something with that same system, or how does that work?
So like for Miss America and Miss America is like a drag pageant based on the Miss America pageant. So for that one, I wore it once, and then the next time was when I stepped down.
And you said, I'm cool.
I'm good on that. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I don't want to lose it.
Right.
And people steal.
People do steal.
I've had many girls who lost their crowns. How do you lose a crown? It's big.
Right.
So someone took your crown, is what you're saying.
It's not a lip gloss.
Someone took your crown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting people steal my stuff.
Right.
I have like shelves with all my different crowns on them.
When you go, like if one went missing, would you get out a spyglass and be like, Slewfoot is on the case.
Slewfoot's on the case.
Slewfoot's on the case. What do you call, if Ru calls you that, what do you call Ru?
Slewfoot. I remember she said, come on, Slewfoot. I said, let's go, Slew.
That is so funny.
But like some people would go, hey, Slewfoot. And then they laugh. And that's where I'm like, are we in on the same joke together?
See, okay. I'm so glad you said that, because I think people get this impression all the time that because they love Drag Race, and I'm happy that they do it because they watch Drag Race, they believe that the library is always open.
Yeah.
I can just read no matter what you do, no matter what you say. If you post a picture of yourself, I'll post a picture of the two of us, a behind the scenes picture saying, oh, guess who's going to be up on the show? And people are like, ooh, I wouldn't have done that earring with that. You know what? But I did. That's the earring I did for this look. That's the earring she did. Well, no, I love you, but no buts. No buts. No but. If I posted this picture, it's because I approved of everything in this picture. We're not co-producing this.
At all.
This is my product. And I tell people when they go, well, why would you comment back if it's obviously it's triggering you? Your words don't trigger me. Your audacity triggers me. And you're standing, when I put up a post and you get in the comment section, you're standing on my lawn insulting me.
Yes.
Get the out of here. I didn't ask you for any of that. Well, you're a public figure. Yes, I am. Absolutely a public figure. And this is my personal account. And I'm going to come back to you. The audacity. You're not in on the joke. It's not the same thing.
And I mean, in this instance, they posted a video of me performing in the Vegas show. And I wasn't wearing pads, and I don't know if it was the best day. I didn't decide. I didn't approve that video, honestly. And then I was like, I wonder what people are saying about it. And they had the same thoughts. What happened to Sapphira? Oh, I feel so sorry for those boys having to pick her up. One of them was, oh, she's so low energy. I really live for Sapphira, but this ain't it. I really live for Sapphira, but and once you say you really live for me, but you don't live for me.
You don't live for me.
You don't live for me.
Mm-mm.
You don't.
Mm-mm.
And I remember, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I think I'm done with this. I'm just gonna continue to do me, because as to your point, I did decide to do this, and I'm the one with the job, not you. I'm sorry. I'm the one who inspires people in life, not you. So, like, I understand what you're saying, and I understand that, watching Drag Race makes everyone think they're Michelle Visage, but I'm not on Drag Race right now. I'm working professional, and everywhere else I've gone, when people see me in person, they love it. You saw a video of a time that was not the greatest, that I admit was not the greatest, and you decided to say foul things about me. How dare you?
Right.
And I've never been that girl. I'm not the girl out there insulting people. If you want to do that with like Plain Jane or someone who is known for who's coming at you, and then I guess have fun, because she's gonna get you back. But that's not my drag. I'm a very loving person. I put out love into the world, and when you put that hate on me, it makes me go, oh, I don't like you. I don't want you around me. I don't want you to be my fan. Unfollow. Go ahead.
And the surprise is when you look at something like that and you see the person follows you, there's a follow back or something. And I think there's something about what I do that resonates with you. And you had to have either seen the show, been a fan, come to Vegas, watched the podcast, shared a Subway video rant, did whatever. But what about all of that said to someone, you know what? I bet they're going to want me to insult them and give them a opinion.
Yeah.
I bet that's what they've been wanting. I bet they'll get better if I say this from the free Wi-Fi I'm stealing at Target. Like, I bet you when my loser ass says something to this person who's never done anything, I'm going to have to do that. And I think what it is I really believe, and it goes to somewhere really sad. There's people that are so desperate for attention or a hug or have skin hunger or they have something. They would rather you yell at them than ignore them. Yeah. And it's so sad. It really is sad. And then there's people that are just shitmongers.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Do you have something on your mind? Perhaps a burning question, or maybe you just need me to go off about something. Well, now's your chance. Email me at readmedelta@gmail.com and you just might hear your question on an upcoming episode of Very Delta. Don't be shy, baby. Send me an email. We are back with Sapphira Cristal. Now, obviously, this show is not accomplishing anything when it comes to saving the world. There's big problems going on, huge problems going on everywhere.
Yeah.
And there are obviously big fish that need to be fried. But all I can really do here is fry small fish. I'm mad about a hot sauce one day. I am happy about, I don't know, a traffic cone the next day.
Yeah.
Is there any small fish that you have that you'd like to fry?
I think that there's a epidemic of spitting on dicks.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of being spat on.
Okay.
It's not something that I'm into personally. I think the issue is not doing it. It's not having a conversation before you do it.
Okay.
Like, I think there's an assumption because of this, what's her name? The Haktua girl.
Uh-huh.
That like, oh, you want me to spit on your penis. You want me to spit on you.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, yes, my penis. Yeah, you're sucking it. Okay, cool. Awesome. But when you spit on it, it feels like you're spitting on me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't like that. On that same note, people who go throat first.
They don't ease in.
They don't like suck. Mm-hmm. How do you suck? How do you, it's called a blowjob. How are you blowing with your throat? Like, it's just not happening.
Well, I remember when I was coming of age, I thought that I didn't know what a blowjob was. And so I thought that the words blowjob was like that you licked it and you went, and I thought, well, like if you lick your finger and you blow on it, that's cold. So why would you want to be cold?
Like a sensation play.
Right. I didn't understand that. I didn't know. Here's a question. Well, you don't want anyone to spit on it at all, especially without a discussion.
I mean, it's just like, suck the dick. Suck it.
Right.
Suck it.
Right.
Like, what's going on? Like, people are like, and it's porn's fault because the people are like, you hear that, people are like, oh yeah, it's so hot. And it's like that, number one, the back of your throat has a pharyngeal wall, which is hard, a hard palate, which is hard. I mean, the hard palate is up here, and then there's a soft palate. But when you decide to go throat first, you're just shoving me back to the back of your throat, and that hurts. Mm-hmm. Trying to shove, at least my penis, down your throat is going to take a second. It's going to take some effort, and it doesn't feel good.
Take a second.
Well, I mean, like, it's going to take some effort. It's not, it's hard. And so my point is,
how much effort is it going to take?
My point is, like, you're just suck. You suck it like a lollipop. Like, whatever happened to that? Like, and I've seen so many things, and I was just like, I'm turned off by like watching certain, like, I don't like watch blowdown scenes because people do that, and I'm like, oh, that looks disgusting. And when they go Haktua, it's like you just hawked all your mucus and filth up from your body. And then spat it on my penis. Right. I don't care if it's just my penis. It's a part of my body. Mm-hmm. Keep it off of me. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Now, based on the spitting, though, is there a type of spit that's more disrespectful? Like if it was just if it was that.
If you have to do that means there's so much mucus in there.
What about this one? Where they go between the teeth.
That's not that bad.
What about if somebody went full on and they didn't have any here, but they did a farmer snot on it?
I'm kicking them in the face and leaving.
Really?
Oh, get away from me.
Right.
Right. It's just a farmer snot. That comes straight out of the.
I hear what you're talking about though, because that's like there could be other things involved. That's not just phlegm. That what they call food that you chew up.
Exactly.
Is called chyme.
Chyme.
A bolus is the amount of food that you swallow each time. There could be chyme and bolus and gunk.
And mucus is there to keep you from getting sick.
Right.
And so whatever it's holding, you've now just spat onto my body.
Will you leave nut in that gut?
Yes.
You will?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
you don't want to see it out. You don't want to see like, nah, like when in
swallow
that kind of video.
Swallow.
You know when it's like this? You don't want to see that.
I would do it on the face. Mm-hmm. But like, swallow the kids.
What if they're in there and it's in all the way, right? And they're doing the sucking, right? Uh-huh. It's not in the wall. It's not in the, what is it?
The pharyngeal wall is the back of your throat.
Okay, so if it's not there, they're doing the sucking and it goes further and further and it's making its way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then would you hold on to the back of their head in place until you see the eyes start to bulge and then they go, ah! They like pull off really loud. Does that do anything?
It does a lot.
It does, right?
It does, yeah.
Because it feels like you're accomplishing something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
like
yeah. That's fine. If I get to the pharyngeal wall, if we warmed up to there, that's different. But like going,
right, immediately. That's
I need to feel something good first. Like
you can tell they don't know what they're doing because
yes,
they think they're trying
exactly.
to impress you, and you're
they you can tell you've been watching porn.
Well, what it is that like they want to believe that they used to be scared of the dick and now they throw lips, but they're still scared.
You're still scared.
They're still scared. Now, what about the perianal wall? Is that going to be the same thing? Would you slam right into that wall or would you ease on down the road?
I haven't had anal sex in a long time.
But in your life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always ease into every hole.
Mm-hmm.
Every hole you have to ease right into. Going straight for Pound Town is disrespectful. You're not gonna get very far.
Right.
They're gonna be like, okay, I gotta stop. So you need to ease in, do breathing exercises. My favorite is to breathe someone in. It's like, yoga. You gotta yoga them into it.
Mm-hmm.
And back when, I used to like, okay, we're gonna do this. Breathe in. And when they breathe out, it's sort of like getting a massage. When you breathe out is when you can really dig in.
Mm-hmm.
So you breathe in a couple times, breathe in, breathe out, push in. You know what I mean? At the same time. And then you don't really feel the pressure as much. And they can actually start to enjoy it. And then once you're in there, then you take a moment, be in there, enjoy the new surroundings. Enjoy your new home for a little bit.
Right.
And then you just like, ease them into some good, slow strokes.
Mm-hmm.
Slow strokes. And then when they get comfortable enough, they'll start to speed up.
Right.
That's when you know, okay, it's time to take you to Pound Town.
They don't realize that there's like just in their new home, there's a foyer.
Yeah.
And then there is a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the living room. Like there's so many places
they want to go straight to the master bedroom. It's like, no, babe, you got to enjoy the rest of the house first.
You take a tour.
Let's take a tour.
Hello. And, I think what you really have to understand too is we talk about, being scared and we're talking about the pharyngeal wall, the perianal wall. You have to realize too that there is a place in heaven for the person who holds their cheeks open for the top. You know what I mean? If you hold your cheeks open on your own, you're going to heaven. You're going to heaven.
Straight.
Because you're doing the work too. You know what I mean? You're an active participant. Don't just lay there. Let people know. You know what I mean? We're having an open house.
Yeah.
Hello. This is the part of the show called Read Me Delta.
Oh, yeah.
And people send in letters.
Oh, I love a letter.
Read Me Delta! We actually didn't do the letters when we did the show together in Philly because we took audience questions, which is my favorite part.
Mine too, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always tell people, like, when we do the shows like that, you can ask a question of both of us, one of us, none of us, make an observation.
I like to do a audience question at my stand-up shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Dear Delta and Sapphira, I've got a burning question and I hope it's not stupid. Can a female do drag? I absolutely love drag queens, the wigs, the hair, the makeup, the outfits, the energy, maybe even the community. I don't know. I just love it. I miss being in my early 20s and going out to the gay clubs with the gays. I feel like I have this loud personality that always has to be contained and it needs a release. I want to get dolled up in an alter ego, but as a female, am I allowed to do drag? LOL. I'm not talking competitions. I mean, I just want to be able to show up to maybe an event or the club and hang out with the drags and feel fabulous. I have no idea where to start. Can you help me out? Love you, Rosemary Regina.
Oh.
Or maybe it's Rosemary Regina. What's your feeling on that? She said she is a female or identifies as a female. Can she do drag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you do drag? Lady Gaga does drag.
Yeah, I mean, you're creating fabulousness, you're creating fun, you're creating commentary, your art, all of it. And I think there's room for everyone to do that, to be celebrated. And you
Exactly. Yeah.
say just to hang out at the club, if that's what you want to do, but don't limit yourself. Why not be in a competition?
Yeah. I
Bring
I,
it.
I wonder, like, if you have this, big boisterous personality that needs to be tamed. Number one, it doesn't. But I will say that I also had a very like big personality out of drag before I
Mhm.
started drag, and my mother often says that Sapphira got my personality,
Okay.
and that like now out of drag, I'm very, 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 very calm, very relaxed because basically I've figured out somewhere to put that thing
Sure.
that people saw all the time. And like, yeah, I'm still funny and all the kind of all those fun things out of drag, but like the extravagant person that is Sapphira Cristal finally has a home. And so if you have that, then do it and figure out what you want to do with it, honestly. So like you said, maybe do a competition if that's what you want to do. If you have this huge personality, the internet's around. Do something else,
Yeah.
like what do you bring? What I always tell people when they decide they want to do drag is like, what are you bringing to drag?
Hmm.
You want to do drag? Why? What do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
And if it's, I want to go to parties and hang out, those parties exist. Do everything your best is my only thing. Yes, you can do drag, but do it to your best.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, I say don't limit yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
again, just as you said, if you just want to hang out at the club, absolutely do that. If you think that that is somehow encroaching or whatever, it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
No.
It's not like we're going to allow you to do this. It's an open space for everyone to participate on any level. And quite honestly, I think the clubs are lacking people showing up just looking really, really great and
Mm-hmm.
hanging out. Like, I think that is really a cool force because that's how you're going to meet people. And, if you're in a new place, it is a little bit daunting. So maybe find a club online, like look in your area, see what kind of looks like it's got really elaborate looks or elaborate nights or maybe a theme night.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't feel so out of place. Then you go, you meet up with other people. You might find like-minded people that go, hey, we go over here. Like, you want to come check this out with us? And then you can sort of find your tribe in that way.
Yeah.
I think it's I'm not going to say it's easy, but I'm going to say there's definitely utilizing the internet is a
Yeah.
great way.
I think that the misogyny in the gay community is
Oh, rampant.
rampant and disgusting.
Uh-huh.
And I think, get it together. Like really, we need to get it together. Stop it. It's stupid. It's ugly. And quite frankly, if that's how you're going to act, then you deserve everything that happens to you. Because if you can't be welcoming to everyone, then you don't deserve to be welcomed anywhere. Sorry.
Right.
Like, you can't ask for one thing on this hand and be a complete fucking cunt on this hand.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get it together. If you're going to be a loving, caring, welcoming person, do it across the board. So when a cis woman decides to come and do drag, be it just as welcoming to her as when a trans man comes and decides to do drag, as when a straight man decides to come and do drag. Be welcoming to every single person as you were when this gay little boy came decided to come do drag. Like, this is the community that has welcomed so many people. And over the years, it's gotten less and less welcoming. People feel less and less safe in these spaces. If these girls feel safe around the gays for their bachelorette parties and they don't feel like they're going to be... What women deal with in this world is crazy. So when they want to go out and have a good time and not be accosted by men at every single turn of the day, they come around the gays. And I know we can go, oh, get away from me. Why are you here? I'm sorry. They're feeling safe around you. Realize that and say, girl, you better get up in here. Let's party. Let's have a good time together. You're right. And like, take your lips off this man's dick for 5 seconds and then do that. And guess what? You still gonna get it. You're still gonna get it. It's gonna be fine. He was never not gonna give it to you. But also, you made someone else's day and your heart will feel better.
Yeah. Thank you for supporting us. I really, I always feel strange when I'm at these clubs, but I always support you people. I've always supported you gays. And it's nice to feel included, especially because I'm going to have a bachelorette party myself.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like a re-bachelorette party?
Well,
Aren't you married?
I'm not bachelorette. Vaginal rejuvenation party.
I
was going to have that.
There we go.
You know what I need. Okay. Hello, Delta and fascinating guest. I wanted to reach out to Delta as I'm sitting at the gate waiting for my Delta Airlines flight to depart, and I'm having one too many edibles. At any point during air travel, do you feel it is appropriate to remove your shoes? Is it ever okay to expose your little piggies to the open air? What if you have socks on? What if the socks are stained because you're a working girl? Don't we all deserve some relaxation? Don't we also all deserve air free of the musk of unwashed feet? These are the questions we must have answered, and you're the only authority who can guide us through this dark and trying time. I'm a huge fan of your show and appreciate all the laughter we bring to the world every week. Very warmest regards, very Christopher. What do you think? Do you ever take your shoes off in the airport or on the plane?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah.
But I also only wear Crocs. So like my shoes are basically off anyway.
That's kind of what I thought.
I don't usually take my socks off if I have shoes on. If I have socks on, it's just usually just the shoes. I drive without shoes on. I pretty much do everything without shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
I guess I don't really notice it. I mean, I wear pretty comfy shoes. I call them my airport shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty comfy, and I don't ever really think to take them off. Maybe it's because, listen, I'm not trying to bend my head down in that seat. I mean, I know if the plane's going down, I'm not putting my fucking head between my knees. How am I going to do that? You know I'm going to be the first one dead. Let's be honest. I'm not doing all that. Oh, just use your flotation device. I am the flotation device. I got this. I'm not worried about
float.
it. I think I would live.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
I think I would just eject out the window. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get through the window. I don't know. The shoes, I'm basically wearing little pillows on my feet to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really that different for me.
What are these shoes?
Well, okay, so my partner calls them my shoes for cruise because they look like the shoes that people buy when they work in fast food and they have to wear them.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got like a lot of traction on the bottom and they're very like memory foam on the inside, but they just slip on. So to me, they feel kind of like a slipper, but they're actually, they're a real sneaker. They're not the most beautiful shoe in the world, but they get the job done. And I feel like I'm all about when I'm at the airport, like I want the ease of in and out in every single way. So I always have like the same 2 track suits that I wear everywhere. So I do like that ease. And I get it. If people want to be comfortable, especially if you're on, a flight that's over a couple of hours, you want to be as comfortable as you want to. My concern isn't as much people taking off their shoes. When people say like, if it's stinky or something, listen, people stop in the airport and buy whatever meal they want to, and they bring it on the airplane. Maybe don't bring an entire fish plate onto the airplane.
Yeah.
Because we are inside of a capsule next to each other.
Yeah.
I've been around people and thought, yeah, that person, that they smell like BO, but whatever. I mean, it doesn't make me happy, but maybe there's a million reasons why they do. Maybe maybe they don't have access. Maybe they have a illness. Maybe that's just the food coming out of them. But when you bring in these plates of these foods, I'm like, now you did choose. Now, you could have just gotten a turkey sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. I mean, I would rather have something else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a fish plate or a crazy chili bean soup or something, but you could have picked something simple like some M&Ms.
Yeah. I don't really eat on the plane too often unless like they're giving us I eat what they give me on the plane.
Yeah.
And I go to the lounge and I make sure to get food in the lounge and I make sure to use the restroom in the lounge.
Right.
Because I'm not shitting on the plane.
And I always feel like going to the bathroom on the plane should be for, I absolutely can't hold it anymore. I'm going to have to go pee.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, when people get on the plane, they're like, oh, let me put my things away. All right, now let me go to the bathroom. And I'm like, you had the airport to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's much more comfortable.
Yeah.
And private.
Yeah. They have this bidet at the American Lounge in Dallas. And it has like a remote control. And it blows on your butthole.
Oh.
Oh, yes, honey. Oh, yes.
Right up in there.
Baby, the bidet made me sing. I was like, oh.
Uh-huh.
And then afterward, it sang to me. It, and I didn't expect the last
It
part.
gave you an anal blowjob.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It did. It
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And let me see.
It made me feel so good. I kind of wanted to marry it.
How was it? And you were like, I'm enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
No, there's never enough.
You're doing too
There's
much.
never enough. There's never enough.
Back in the day, me and my friend Vanity,
Uh-huh.
we used to go to this Super 8 motel in Palm Springs when we first started working in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And there was something about the jets in the jacuzzi that were really strong. So we would be in the jacuzzi and then we would put our legs up over the side and back our asses up to the jets.
And just
we would be like, girl, how is this though? But the water would be going in so far that it would be going in so far that we would be like, I got to go back to the room and go release this because it wasn't just massaging.
Oh, baby, that shit was
it
giving
was
you a whole
filling.
Yeah, baby, she was getting.
And then we knew it was time for the trade
Getting the
because we were
douche,
cleaned
honey.
out. Cleaned out at the Motel 8, Super 8, 6. Right there on Palm Canyon, right by Two Cats
Call
Tiki
the
Lounge.
train over, honey.
We did that.
That's cunt.
Thank you for being here. This is so fun.
Thank you for
This
having
is so
me.
fun.
Yes.
You look amazing. You make me feel amazing.
You're
And
amazing.
people love you so, so much. This is fierce. Where the Vegas show,
Mm-hmm.
is there a schedule for that? Do they
So
just
it's every
don't
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Uh-huh.
2 shows on Friday. Come to see me.
Mhm.
And then also stream my music.
Yes.
Stream the Cristál Ball on all streaming platforms. Sapphira Cristal, the Cristál Ball. And always remember that you're enough. I did this on a thing, and I kind of want to do this with you.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember what I'm going to do?
We did like a chant at the end, like a call.
Yeah. So, and everyone in here can also join us. Please put your hands up in the air. Yes. Putting them up in the air. And then wrap them around yourselves and breathe in. And when you breathe out, say, I truly love and accept myself. 1, 2, 3.
I truly love and accept myself.
All right, let's do it one more time. Now that we know what we're doing. I truly love and accept myself. And I just want to always remind people, as I said earlier, no matter what's going on in your life and no matter what no matter what anyone has to say to or about you, to always remember to truly love and accept who you are, when you are, where you are, how you are. You're perfect today. You're perfect tomorrow. You're perfect yesterday. And the person you were yesterday got you exactly where you are today. And the person you are today will take you to your dreams in the future. And you must love, cherish, and remember that you are enough.
I love that.
Thank you.
That feels
I love
good.
you.
I love you. Today on Very Delta, we learned that sometimes you don't need another crown. You've got plenty at home. We'll see you next week. And until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Danielle Mitchell. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. In the graveyard is where you get dumped off. All we want to do is party. And buy everybody in the bar Bacardi.
Mom!
Watch Very Delta uncensored, ad-free, and a day early by subscribing to Mom Plus Gold. Sign up today at mompodcast.plus for premium content, including weekly episodes of more Very Delta.